welcome to the Screen Rot Podcast, the podcast where we discuss the weirdest and worst content that's been rotting our screens and indeed our minds. Shout out to everyone who subscribes to this podcast on either Apple, YouTube,
Platforms.
or Spotify. Big love if you give us a 5-star on Apple. We really like that. We really like when people sign up to the patrons, the Freemasons. They're on £3.99 a month. Getting an extra episode just like this every single week. Like recent weeks, they're getting more than an extra hour a week. It's ridiculous. Not as ridiculous as the Illuminati, £5.99 a month. All of that, plus a hat on their heads. All of them are getting no ads, by the way. There's ads in this. Annoying. Get rid of it. £4 a month is not a lot, is it? Shout out to Eugene, runs our Twitter account, maybe send my God. Big wink and a kiss. Mwah. To the ladies who listen, who are indeed some of the most gorgeous and sexy ladies in the United Kingdom, and the queers aren't bad either. And I'm here, as usual, with Jake Farrell.
Great to be here.
Good to be here.
Fresh off of some time with the in-laws.
You've been with the in-laws?
Yeah, I've been spending time with the in-laws, boy. Don't worry about that.
I always speculated that this podcast would just become therapy for us.
Yeah.
That this is, you know, this is the thing with men's mental health, is you don't have to say this is men's mental health for it not to be men's mental health. And if you're about to talk about time you've spent with your in-laws, then I believe we can now put this into the mental health category on Apple.
Yeah,
and start sparring with the titans of mental health, who are right now, I think, Peter Crouch, Prince William.
Prince William, we're coming for you. Yeah. And your uncle. If he's not away on the island at the time.
Yeah. Shagging kids. I don't.
Fuck me.
That's what he does.
I've got the bell.
He shags children.
Where's the bell?
He shags. Oh yeah, we've got no bell.
Got no bell.
Anyway, I won't say anything else wise. Yeah, you've been with your.
Well, I think the story of me and my in-laws is kind of a beautiful one, really. Where you in the early years of being together, you're feeling each other out. I maybe behaved in ways that I'm not proud of now. You know what I mean? I wasn't maybe the most sociable guy. Would you believe?
Yeah. In no other walk of life would you just be expected to be sociable with a 60-year-old. Do you know what I mean? If you just started at an office, right? Like, no one would be like, by the way, I've noticed you're not making loads of conversation with that 60-year-old autistic man who keeps checking if the radiators are working.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
Is there going to be an issue there?
Yeah.
You'd be like, well, no, why would it? But it's like, well, because it's my partner's dad. I guess
Well, we're very politically different. We've got different views. We've got very different backgrounds.
Literally nothing in common apart from feelings towards a woman who we kind of share.
I'm boffing his daughter.
Yeah.
Not hard.
Anyway.
Oh, this is our sax. And I'm about to talk about 40 Towers as well.
Yeah, perfect. That was
no, it's I've got a lovely relationship with them now. They're great people.
Now.
And they come down to London. Yeah, now. Doing a lot of heavy lifting there. And they come down to London a couple of times a year. Always very nice. And this time when they came down most recently, we had a lovely meal out, a few drinks. Everyone's vibing. The vibes are high. Huh?
Who pays?
I think I did dinner this time. It was my turn for dinner.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it was a bit of a birthday. It was just a bit of a birthday day out for them. But they got the tickets to the evening's entertainment.
Which means they chose the individual.
Which means they chose. And
which is funny, because I don't imagine you'd have forced dinner upon them.
No,
being the one who paid for the dinner and bought them dinner for their birthday.
Yeah.
I don't imagine these are your in-laws. Where are they from? They're
from the Midlands. Yeah,
Midlands,
West Midlands,
rural West Midlands,
rural a bit outside Birmingham.
Yes, and I'm going to make a guess that you chose European cuisine, something I might say accessible. You didn't force your love of South Indian spicy stuff on them.
It's good steak and chip stuff.
It's good steak and chip stuff that they might like, stuff that's
Champagne.
easily accessible, stuff that everyone likes. Yeah, stuff that everyone likes. So in terms of we
weren't having Polish dumplings.
This is it.
We weren't having pierogi.
We never are, to be fair. We're not having Polish dumplings.
I don't mind a pierogi, to be fair, but we weren't on the pickled herring.
Pieroga? I've never met her.
But after that, evening's entertainment, they got the tickets off to see the Fawlty Towers musical. Now, I'm not saying I want John Cleese to be dead. That's not what I'm saying.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already... What's he feeling about Monty Python?
I think it's shit.
It's fucking shit.
I look back and it's like people are it's a shame that the creators of one of the most loved British comedies, one of the most influential British comedies of all time, and now they've gone right wing. It's like, sorry,
what?
Like
the fucking 70-year-old guys that went to Oxbridge and all went to boarding school, they're right wing. Would you believe it?
Yeah, but also like the comedy, like
it's crap.
It's rubbish, man.
If
you're
BBC,
laughing at that,
oh my god, the BBC fetishised.
He's a very naughty boy.
Yeah,
fucking hell.
I remember getting so annoyed. The BBC at a time where I was like probably desperately pitching stuff to Radio 4 as well. They announced they were doing like a 5-night special where they played all of the sketches from Monty Python that weren't good enough to make the real show. I remember thinking like, fuck me.
Probably was like 2018.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
While it's hot, while everyone really loves Monty Python at the moment, you know how you guys can't get enough of it? Here's the B-sides.
It's the B-sides of the Monty Python lads, famous
like
for their
right
quality
now,
control.
If Spotify released like the Oasis B-sides now, it's like fair enough.
Yeah.
It's Oasis season.
It's
We're
good
going
stuff.
nuts for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, fine, give us the
Give us the bootlegs.
2018. They hadn't been on telly for 20 years.
No.
It's like, what's his name? The fucking Michael Portillo's just done a series about trains.
He's not in Monty Python. That's Michael Palin. Still, but like it's I'm not a Monty Python guy because I'm not 65 and a tax resident in Monaco. So why would I like Monty Python? Not a Fawlty Towers guy either. Can't stand Cleese. I think his daughter did stand. I remember doing a gig with his daughter. Did she do stand up at one point? Anyway,
no, but I think it's safe enough just to assume she has.
Yeah, 100%.
She's beautiful. Her bedroom is decorated Kath Kitson, and she does stand-up comedy really badly, and she is making more money than this podcast ever will.
So we go see Fawlty Towers. I've only seen like the clips and the kind of bits that they would play on like the 100 greatest comedy British moments on like those Channel 4 shows.
And the best one is always Del Boy falling through the
because that's funny.
It's funny.
Because that's funny.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's funny because it's about people and it's not about one posh psycho running around with doing funny walks and then 50 years later talking about how trans people aren't using the wrong bathrooms or whatever. Fuck off. But the big problem with Fawlty Towers, it was just 3 episodes of the programme smashed together.
So I hadn't even written.
There's no original material.
Because I think I haven't seen it, but I was quite keen for the Only Fools and Horses musical.
Yeah, I'm up for
a couple of years
They've
ago.
written some songs for that.
By the way, there might be people who are like, oh, is that because you think you're working class? You think you've got more in common than Trotter? You got more in common with Trotter's independent traders, or you know, and you think that you're just performing the fact that you're not from Oxbridge, blah blah blah, and they're working class market traders. It's like, no, it's because I like nonsense, and David Jason was the best.
Allegedly.
Goated nonce.
Allegedly.
More respect for my goat.
Allegedly. He meant Ponce. So like the Fawlty Towers, it is what it is. It's filled with...
I don't like nonsense. Carry on.
That's the bit you want to clarify for legal reasons. But the biggest thing that pulled me out of the whole show was that the guy playing Basil Fawlty, who has to take his shirt off for parts of it, because I think that's part of the plot, is fucking jacked. This guy's...
Basil Fawlty?
Basil Fawlty is yoked. And so, like, this is clearly a guy who's just, like, a RADA guy who's, like, falling
Manuel, leave me alone! I need to complete my deadlift!
Manuel, where's the creatine?
Rather than doing a sort of slapstick whack over the head with a tree branch, he just fucking clears him out.
But it adds an extra dimension to it because Basil's constantly threatening violence on Manuel, basically, because he's getting annoyed with him. But like
Southpaw.
Yeah. But when he looks like a fucking light heavyweight, it gets a bit scary. And also,
that's so funny.
And it's like I think they should have said to him, like, look, Rupert or whatever, you're in too good shape for this role. Yeah. We don't need to get you a personal trainer. We need to get you some ice cream.
But surely that's what good actors do.
Yeah.
They get out of shape.
But this is what I mean. The whole thing was just like everyone was phoning it in.
They must have not been paying him enough. Exactly. They must have been not paying him enough. So he's like, I'm really sorry. I still need to do my private PT stuff in the evenings.
Do that, yeah. I want to get on the next Dragon season of Game of Thrones.
I'm teaching ballroom dancing in the evenings. Yeah. I'm really sorry.
If
you'll give me £300 a show,
no, I can't.
I've got a mortgage to pay.
Exactly. I'm going to be. My character interpretation of Basil Fawlty is Basil if he listened to Joe Rogan. That's my thing. And obviously my only real interaction with Manuel is the Ross and Brand, he fucked your granddaughter, which was the seminal moment of my life.
If anything, that's I think that has inspired this podcast.
That's
more than the works.
More in common with that than Monty Python. What's going on with you anyway? That's me and jacked Basil Fawlty. Anything nice been happening with you?
Well, we've obviously just done we're recording this a week after we did our London date of the tour. It was amazing.
Unbelievable.
We had Big John. Obviously, there's going to be a slight delay. This is going to come out a couple of weeks after, but we have to just say thanks to everyone who came.
Massive thanks.
We've put on another London date. We're doing Shepherd's Bush Empire. As we record 5 days later, there's about 30% of the tickets left, maybe slightly less than that.
Fucking mental.
But like, it's insane to say that by the time this comes out, there may be less tickets than that. It might even be sold out. It's crazy. Well, I'll probably do a topper at the top of this episode, and maybe even
see
next
what
week.
the lay of the land is. Yeah,
you probably would have been told about that. I think there will still be tickets to Edinburgh, Newcastle, Liverpool, and perhaps even Leeds as well.
Yes,
we're really enjoying the live shows. They're all going to be filmed nicely. They're all going to be on the Patreon side of things. We might even put some of them on general release.
Yeah.
Stuff like Big John will keep behind a paywall. But if
we're like drug dealers, the first taste is free.
Yeah.
And when we got people hooked.
This is it, yeah. So thank you to everyone who came to that. Please buy tickets for the other dates. We're really buzzing about those live shows.
Wait.
And yeah, the video with the London one is brilliant.
Yeah, big shout out to Ryan Dutch.
Shout out
for
to Ryan
that.
who edited it. Shout out to Jerome who filmed it. Loads more people were involved. Should we get into it?
Oh, this is a good one.
Should we get? So this is episode 101, and for me, it's like we're now into the second 100.
Yeah.
First 100 is done.
Yeah, we've made our century. Raise the bat. Then you got to get down. You want to go big.
We go again.
Yeah.
And we're definitely doing at least another century. I mean, to be honest with you, I thank you to everyone who signed up to the Patreon. I need to do this forever. I can't go back.
So 52 weeks from now, God. So yeah, coming up, episode 200, sometime in September 2026. That's a terrifying thought.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
What do you mean? No, shit.
100 weeks from
100
now.
weeks. God, I've because I'm counting the Patreon episodes, 2 episodes a week. So 100 mainly, September 2027. If I'm still sat in this room on a Friday, you'll have had, your little one will be 2 almost. Bloody hell.
My new little one.
Your new little one, yeah.
I'm shitting myself about that. Fucking hell. I mean, my missus has stopped listening to these as much now, so I can say what I think.
Let's go.
Oh my God, I cannot believe. Like, to me, I mean, I mentioned it on a previous episode. I was just about to start then, but I'll just say this.
No,
really.
come on.
I'm fucking... I was up for having a third kid, but I was like, should we do it after the wedding? Right. And I'll say this because she's not really listening much anymore. So I'm getting married a year from now.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, we'll start trying after the wedding because we don't want a fucking baby at a wedding, right? Right, as things stand, we're gonna have a 3-year-old and a nearly 6-year-old at the wedding, which is manageable.
And what little ones they are, by the way.
Yeah, they're great. I love my kids so much, but I wasn't dying for a third one. To be honest with you. And then fucking obviously we've had a mistake.
Do you want to talk about your goals to game ratio? Because you mentioned this last night when we were having a curry, and it's a remarkable.
Well, there's a little
stat.
bit of sadness involved in
this.
That's
true, actually. Yeah,
no, but I don't mind. No, I don't mind saying it at all because I do think it's important to have this conversation. It's important to like recognise that one in 4, I think it might even be 1 in 3 pregnancies don't result in a successful. I don't even know successful. There's a lot of miscarriages.
Right.
So we had 2 miscarriages before both our children. Before the pregnancies that resulted in our kids, if that makes sense. I have successfully inseminated the last 5 eggs that my missus's ovaries have produced.
Yeah.
I've got them. They drop, I get them.
You're like Vardy in the championship winning season.
A ball drops to me in the box.
Yeah.
I'm putting it away.
It doesn't matter what the XG is.
Putting it away.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
No.
Man mark me.
Yeah.
You can't stop me.
No, you can't.
I'm putting it in the bottom corner.
And the thing is, it's like they say with Arjen Robben, and your missus would say the same. You know what he's trying to do.
I know, yeah.
You just can't stop him from doing it.
You know he's going to cut in. But this is the thing. I'm so horny.
Yeah.
I am so horny. And she said to me in the spring... Because it's like, the thing is like she breastfeeds for fucking ages, my missus, Earth Mama, right? And then as the breastfeeding tails off, she gets fertile again. And she said to me, she was like, look, you're running a risk here. You might get me pregnant. And I was just so horny. I was just like, I don't care.
That's amazing.
I got her. And, got the egg again. I always get the egg. I always get the egg, man. I always get the egg. I always get the egg. But now, obviously,
proper eggsman.
But the thing is, I was like, yeah, we can have a third kid, but maybe after the wedding next year. And if I'm 100% honest, there was a tiny part of me that was like, she might have changed her mind by then.
Right.
And obviously, it's I'm having a kid now.
Yeah. That's hard, isn't it? Because you wanted the kid after the wedding next year, but you wanted to have sex like now, didn't you? So that's the difficult, trying to balance those two priorities.
And I'm a now guy. We'll get onto this in the episode. I'm a now guy.
One egg rather than 2 eggs later.
Yeah, mate. An egg drops in the box. I'm putting it away. Right. I'm not. I don't pass to a teammate. I'm not. I don't.
It's Haaland stuff.
I take a lot of shots.
Yeah. Oh God.
And now I'm gonna have a third kid. And I have to be honest with you. I grew up in a 2-kid household.
Yep. I'm a 3er.
You're a 3er. But this is the thing, you don't see a lot of 3-kid households in the media. You don't see a lot of like... Tony Soprano's got 2 kids.
Yes.
And I think I'm Tony Soprano.
Right.
And it's a lot of that. It's like it's a lot of 2 kids.
Yeah.
Mrs., 2 kids and a dog.
Mm.
Right? And I late night, I was a bit pissed a few weeks ago and I was like, fucking hell, you don't see... Who are my role models? Who do I look up? Who's a successful 3-kid dad?
3-kid dad.
I genuinely thought to myself a few weeks ago. I was like, where do you see in the media? Who on telly? What dads do I aspire to be? I've got 3 kids. I genuinely thought to myself. I thought. Oh yeah, The Simpsons. I thought I'm a Simpson. Do you know what I thought to myself? I thought he manages it, and he's a fucking idiot.
He's got to do shifts at the nuclear power plant.
He's an idiot, and he's fine.
I think the other one maybe was Bill Cosby and the Cosbys.
Oh dear,
you don't want to do that.
Oh,
Look,
dear.
I think you're fine.
I love nonsense.
In my experience, I'm the oldest of 3, and I think in each time the next kid out is just in the case of my sister and then my brother, is just an improvement on the first one.
Wow.
And Lua she's a diamond. So do you know what I mean? You're playing with house money.
My son hasn't.
My mum and dad
hasn't been an
needed 2
improvement
more.
on my daughter yet.
Oh,
though,
really?
so that's I don't know with me. Anyway, we'll start the episode on that note. Ladies and gentlemen, this week 101 into the 2nd century, and we're talking about Mr. Mark Tilbury. Jake, I'm sure you'd agree that as men in our early 30s at our age, you'd expect your life to be sorted, wouldn't you? Work-wise, financially,
Definitely.
and yet sometimes you do still feel like a daft kid. You almost feel like a bit of a failure. Obviously,
100%.
You've got loads going on. You're a busy career man. I've got too many kids. And all these things do affect your mental H, a.k.a. your mental health.
Tell
and
me
I've seen
about
a therapist before.
Right.
You might remember that. She hugged me. It was great, but my life's so busy. It was hard to keep up with her. I know I would feel better if I had a therapist who could listen to me, offer me a little bit of advice, and that is where BetterHelp come in. BetterHelp. They're the paid partner of this video, Jake.
Great.
And all you have to do is complete a questionnaire. They will match you with a therapist. And get this, if you ever want to change that therapist, you can just switch therapists at any time. No extra cost.
That's class.
They've got 7,000 reviews. They've got over 4.3 stars on Trustpilot. They're pucker. And if anyone wants to check them out, they can just hit the link in the bottom of this video or go to betterhelp.com/screenrot. And guess what?
What?
You get 10% off your first
10% off?
therapy, 10% off. So check it out, betterhelp.com/screenrot, or the link in the description of this video. Check out BetterHelp.
Bush.
Oi! For the 101st time, get on this.
What a way to enter into our 2nd century.
Yeah. This is like proper screenrot. This is exactly it.
This is what
the public don't know who this guy is.
No.
Only scrollers will know this guy, and it's one of them where it's like you might not know the name. Just look at an image and you go, oh yeah, that guy.
That's a very fascinating thing about scrolling. There are a lot of like.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I now that we're quite proficient with putting clips out, and Eugene's great on the Twitter. And
we might be an older.
I get an oh yeah, that guy. I've been in a lot of men's toilets in pubs, and I can see people going, oh yeah, that guy. Arsenal games. Oh yeah, that guy. I've literally had people at Arsenal games be like, "Are you that guy?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm that guy." And I've got no idea.
Yeah.
It could be True Geordie. It could be the kickoff.
Exactly.
Could be Holloway Road.
You are that guy.
I'm just that guy. Anyway, Mark Tilbury, business guru, financial advisor, huge content creator. Across, like I could not believe it. We were chatting on the phone the other day, and I was like, we could do this one, we could do that one, we could do Mark Tilbury, and you went, oh yeah, Mark Tilbury. And there was a part of me I was like, what? Has he got enough numbers? Because we still have our rule, don't we? It has to be 100,000. We used to say no women, we don't give a fuck anymore.
No.
And now, and it was like, do they have rich parents? And I was like, will he have 100,000.
Yeah.
He's got multi-millions.
Yes. 2 million on Instagram, 7.2 million on TikTok.
Huge on YouTube.
Massive
Absolutely
on YouTube,
massive on YouTube.
Do you know why I think you were worried?
Mm.
I think instinctively you were worried because he looks like a doddery old granddad.
He's a little old man. He's a little old man. And here's my oi get on this.
Right.
Like Mark Tilbury, right? That's what's astonishing to me. I cannot believe he's as viral as he is.
Yes.
Because there are other finance guys on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, who are in some way remarkable.
Right.
Right? Joseph Valente looks amazing.
Yeah. Not wedding amazing.
Rory Sutherland is incredible.
He's waffling.
Unks is waffling.
Unks be waffling.
Mark Tilbury has the vibe of the bride's uncle at a wedding, and you get stuck with him in the queue to the toilet, and he asks you if you've got a savings ISA, and you go no, and he goes, well, you know you can get 3% interest at the moment, and you go, oh fucking hell, I'm going for a cigarette. I'll shit myself. I'd rather shit my pants than have to listen.
Yeah,
to
so
it.
me and Marjorie.
It's so boring.
Yeah,
it's so
unbelievably boring.
There are a lot of like. I feel like half of the internet now is like, are you not making money? Here's how to make money. But it will be at least visually like, wow, I have to watch this.
Yeah.
Even like when Joseph Valente's going, EBITDA, right? I don't know what that is. I never know but I have to know why he looks like that. I have to know why
he's saying that.
I mean, like, about Valente, who we covered 2 episodes ago, do you remember we were like, he's big?
It's like a large man.
He's 5'7".
Is he actually?
But his dimensions are so odd that he looks like a tall man.
His head looks like it's 5'7".
I'm the opposite. I get this a lot. I don't know if you've ever thought this with me.
Yeah.
I get a lot. I've got like resting small face. Like a lot of people meet me, and I mean, I am taller than a lot of people think.
Do women say that?
I remember I was winding you and our mates up once and faking emails from a TV producer to pretend that I'd got like a TV thing to wind you.
Does sound like you, to be fair.
To wind you.
Does sound like you.
Up. And I can believe it. I'd written this like fake email to myself, and I believe I may have been the originator of doing that, which Tom Skinner has now copied. Patron this week, by the way. But. I remember I wrote like a fake email to myself, and like the first line of it was like, "Wow, Jacob, lovely to meet you the other day," and then hyphen, "You really are taller than I expected."
That probably sent me to the moon that day as well.
Yeah.
I was fucking Buzz Aldrin all over the shop that day.
Our mate Rob, who suffers with stuff like this a lot of the time,
suffers with Jacob Hawley syndrome.
Yeah, but I got his prostate the size of a space opera that day.
God,
we often used to visualise that, didn't I?
He was having to carry his prostate around in a wheelbarrow.
I could stress him out to the point that his prostate would hop out of his arse, start hopping around the tube, and he'd have to roll up a metro and try and chase it back into his arse.
Yeah. It's like that Reebok advert where belly's going to get you, but it's the prostate's going to get you.
And gentlemen, let me tell you, prostate is going to get you.
Yeah, that's
why we are here with AG Greens. Come on, AG Greens. Who's our advert? Are we still doing the
Surf
VPN?
Shop. Yeah, Surf Shop.
Of course we are. Little teenagers wanking themselves to death in their bedrooms, and £6 a month means you can do it with Surf Shop.
Yeah, Surf Shop VPN.
Back to Tilbury.
No, Tilbury, he does have the vibe of...
He's so boring.
You've been sat next to him at the wedding. You've been put on, like, I mean, this is, like you say, I'm at the wedding, it's Emma's mate, and, like, one of their kind of distant cousins or uncles is, like, on our table or whatever. Hello, I'm Mark. I'm from Basildon. Lovely to meet you. Yeah. I work in industrial salvage. What do you do? And I kind of work for a charity, and I do a podcast and stuff like that. Well, me and my wife...
You wouldn't say that.
Well,
you would not mention the podcast.
No, I'm not mentioning the podcast.
You'd rather mention... Like, you'd rather say...
I'm a paedophile.
Yeah.
I'm
Jake. I work for a charity. Tell about the other thing you do. I'm in ISIS. Nice to meet you.
I'm a resort manager on the island of Little St. James. I heard you did a podcast. No, that's not me. That's that guy over there.
That's the other guy. Traffic children. Lovely to meet
you. Yeah, I'm an estate agent.
That's disgusting.
I wouldn't say that. No, he has that vibe to him, but he has the vibe of like, and this often happens at weddings, I find. They will kind of do the pleasantries of being like, what do you do? Or what are you interested in? Then they will just blow past that and tell you what they want to tell you. And it's usually, we've actually just come back from a week in Costa Rica, me and my wife, Marjorie. They cannot do enough for you out there.
Yeah.
They cannot. Oh, really? What was the food? The food's stunning.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable out there. You would not believe the seafood. The seafood in Costa Rica is unbelievable. You wouldn't. Oh, great. And then like 3 hours later, you're like you say, you literally like, I'd have to take up smoking again. Just to get away with this guy. I cannot listen to any more of this.
It's the only way out, if the only social way of leaving this, like the only socially acceptable way of leaving this conversation was to put a needle in my arm and sit in a fucking alleyway, I would do that right now to stop listening to this.
Sorry, I'm going to go over there. Oh, what, you going for a cigarette? No, I'm just going over there.
The thing that he permeates is, and I think a lot of what you see now in these kind of like sign up to the course in my bio, listen to me, I'm living a life you couldn't imagine leading. It's new money. People are promoting the idea of new money. This is old money.
Well, as in, like, this isn't get rich quick schemes. This is like financial prudence.
I mean, this is the thing. I found him so boring. Like, despite watching a lot of him over the last couple of days, I haven't clicked the link in bio. And I think he actually, I'm not sure he has one. I'm not sure there is.
Just the content
is
the
I think
content
it's just
is
content.
The thing.
Yeah, but it's not like, it's not radical, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what's and it's, I think it says something about society.
Right.
That we are all so like financially desperate.
Yes.
That 15 years ago, this guy approaches you and goes, well, what are you doing with your money then? Have you put it somewhere smart? I bet you haven't. You really should be putting 20% of your income away every month. You'd be like, fuck off, granddad. I'll be fine.
I'm just going to get
Whereas
a mortgage,
now, we're all so fucked. We're all so desperate that like we're looking at this guy and like it's not like mad stuff. And you're like, I'd sign me up.
It almost feels
sign me up, granddad.
And so
I'll subscribe.
And like this video is a good encapsulation of his worldview. This first clip, and he is kind of like financial prudence guy, but he's also side hustle guy. So this video is entitled "Here's the fastest way to become poor."
Here's the fastest way to become poor. First, you have to be scared to take risks and always stay in your comfort zone. Second, you have to watch a load of Netflix in your spare time. Don't even think about side hustle. Third, you have to use credit cards to buy designer clothes to impress your friends.
Shut
Fourth,
up.
You have to blame the rich for all your problems instead of learning how money works. And fifth, you most definitely aren't allowed to follow me.
Now, this kind of Thatcherite, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, don't blame the rich or whatever.
Also, the kind of the tone of it is kind of like sassy and sarcastic. If I wanted to become poor, this is what I would do.
Yeah, this is it. And like another one of those things we've talked before about, like, oh, there's quite a few comedians that we know that we just can't believe that anyone ever went to them like, you're funny, you should do comedy. Like, there's loads of them. There, it's just like there's not even a spark of joy.
You're not a funny human.
You're not a funny, interesting human being. This guy, like, oh, sorry, Mark, you're one of the most off-putting men we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Please don't try and make it on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? Like,
this is it. Who was like, mate, you like I was going to make this comparison later. Rory Sutherland, right, has been bowling around, looking like a character from Wind in the Willows for fucking years.
Unks' box office.
Lost Mary in hand, waffling.
This guy's waffling.
Filling the pubs of the Cotswolds.
Yeah.
Filling the pubs of Oxfordshire.
And even if he says something mad, you're like, I'm having fun,
This is it, man. You book him for a marketing conference, you give him 20 minutes, he's doing 2 hours.
Yeah,
and he'll talk about it. And someone literally went, I'm not even going to ask the guy. I'm going to clip him up and put him on TikTok because it's going to go nuts.
Can I have some of that waffle, please?
Yeah. Please, Unks, can I have some more waffle? Please, Unks, can we have some more? That's what TikTok did to Rory Sutherland.
Yeah.
Chris Williamson flies him back and forth to America so often that fuck the carbon footprint. Never mind us cleaning out our jam jars. Rory Sutherland taking up 2 seats on a fucking jumbo jet to Austin, Texas is fucking burning the planet.
For his 400th podcast of the week.
I didn't mean to call him fat. I love Rory Sutherland.
He is the man.
But who would have looked at this guy and gone, mate, you can't just be saying this stuff to your wife in your conservatory. We've got to film this.
You can't just be saying this stuff at the golf club where you're having a tap water with ice after a round.
We've got to film this.
We've got to film
this
you.
This has got to go on the internet. If I wanted to be poor, this is what I would do.
I would buy designer clothes with my credit cards.
But again, and we often take a bit longer in an episode to get to this, to be like, don't point the gun away from the guy, point it at the audience. Like,
right.
we are such cucks.
Yeah,
we are so
we're the worst.
Millions of people are signing up to this.
Yeah, you're fucking subscribing on YouTube to watch this stupid old cunt be like, you have too many coffees.
Oh, watching Netflix, are you, rather than having a side hustle using a credit card? Fuck off.
People are using credit cards to buy olive oil, you fucking idiot. No one can afford to live.
Manchester United are using credit cards to buy Belieber off Brighton, and that is one of the most dynamic runners in midfield in the Premier League.
I just I think, like you say, Unks is waffling with Rory, right? And the value exchange there is, I listen to Unk waffling. He gives me an interesting fact that 4 Guinnesses in at the pub, I can be like, oi, get on this.
This is it. No, like, I haven't changed my spending habits based on Rory Sutherland.
But, like, who's fucking changing their spending habits based on this cunt?
But I think people are.
Do you reckon?
But I mean, you know,
we're not to blame. Buying a coffee, you're not to blame. If you can't buy a house, it's the fucking system. It's not your fault.
It is. And like, you know, in terms of like, I don't like the kind of poor me attitudes that our generation get saddled with. But I don't think it's a coincidence that usually, like, you see, I don't know, Cam Eastie. I bought a property in Egypt, and what they do for you, like, the remarkable thing when you see like a Cam Eastie going, hey, want to get as rich as me in my Audi with my platinum Amex and blah, 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 is you go, fuck me, that's the same as me.
Right.
I mean, it did strike me the other day, I've got the same haircut as him. I've got a low taper fade, right? But when you see like a Cam Eastie, or, I don't know, name another one of these like young, you know, sign up to the link in bio.
Yeah, I mean, like,
there's even guys in their late 30s who you know, like a tiki-toki or whatever. Like, he's not in late 30s, but you get what I'm trying to say.
It's always a scam, yeah.
And it's always a scam, and it's always a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Even like Valente,
like,
you look at most of these guys, and you're like, wow, he's got that car, he's got that house. How on earth? What? Just on his phone?
Yeah.
Amazing. I'll sign up. 20 quid a month? Why not? Right? Because, wow, he's got that.
The dream. Sell me the dream.
The reason Tilbury doesn't work is when he's like, I've got a nice car and 2 houses. Like, well, yeah, you're 60.
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Your generation have had it easier than anyone else.
It doesn't work when a boomer does it.
No.
It doesn't work when someone who's 60 does it.
Yeah.
It's like, did you know I'm a millionaire? It's like, well, yeah, probably. I mean, all you need to own is like a 4-bedroom house in Zone 4 London.
Exactly, yeah.
Which in the 70s, when you could have bought one, was like $5,000.
And your salary might have been higher because you got your university education for fucking free.
Never mind university education. You could have just gone to a grammar school.
Yeah, well, this is it.
This is it. It's like, it doesn't work when a boomer does it.
No.
And, it's like, and I look at these, and it's like, in that one, they've put him in Dubai.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he's a completely classless, tasteless freak. Like, all of his stuff is like, he's in Dubai. He's talking to Andrew Tate and all of this stuff. Like, the idea, like you say, that anyone would want to be like this guy.
Well, this is it.
The worst guy at the wedding.
This is. I think if they're ever to get me, if I'm ever going to click link in bio, subscribe, whatever, and want to chase this thing, they need to show me what I want. All I want is a terraced house in Holloway. That I own.
Yeah.
And ideally, actually, I think what I've been thinking about this more and more recently. I think what I need is to own the house next door as well, so I can control who moves in there, because I've got fucking problems. Bro.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Oh mate. I mean,
why won't the world cut the Screen Rock Boys a break?
I don't know. My domestic situation is fucked at the moment. My kids are mad.
Do you want to talk about it, bro?
My miss. Yeah, I do.
Well, that might be the answer.
My missus is pregnant, hormonal, not. I mean,
you're horny as all hell.
I'm really horny at the moment. And I don't love having to say this on the internet. I don't have to, but I will.
You don't have to do anything.
What she's doing at the moment, which is really sweet of her, actually, is she is just like, we've realised that it helps if she just relieves me every couple of days. So she just tosses me off just to make me, just to chill me out. And it is unbelievable how much more work you get done after a hand job. I'll say that to anyone. You know, there's all this shit now of like, organise yourself, wake up early. You know, everyone's like Valente's got a morning routine. I have sea salt and electrolytes and a cold bath. Honestly, mate, just get tugged off. It makes the fucking world. You know, like we did that clip the other day where I can't concentrate and I've got 3 to-do lists, 6 screens on, I'm calling someone, I'm fucking, you know, lifting weights and trying to fucking write a set at the same time. Oh, mate. After a hand job, the lucidity with which you think, I thought I needed to do DMT.
No. You're like Bradley Cooper in Limitless after
quick
a hand
tug,
job.
and I say it was quick.
Can I ask some questions about the hand job, please?
Yeah.
Is it a romantic exchange, or is it more of a functional exchange? You're like a farm animal.
I wasn't allowed to kiss her. No, baby. No. Stay still. End of the sofa. Sit down.
Stay still.
Had a condom on at the start of it.
God!
Just so it would be quicker to clean up afterwards. But then I couldn't. I don't like condoms. 3 kids. But yeah. It's taking
Stay
too long.
still.
Got it off. Yeah, stay still.
Do you have a little
It's
pen?
honestly, it's when you've got a rural woman, as I have, they know what they're fucking doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They don't mess around.
Her brain went into like her ancestor's mind, and she was just fucking.
This is a piece of livestock.
She pinned me like livestock,
Yeah,
elbow into the neck to floor me. Fucking get the udder. Bucket at the
Fuck off.
the sound of it hitting the tin of the
40 seconds door to door.
Pasteurised Jacob Hawley for top tier patrons now. No, but so my
Emma and I were talking about that
situation-
the other day. Like I think that's a really funny expression to say for sex.
What?
Just like how long you get done in. Like it's a 20 minutes door to door from start right at the end. That's like what's a hand job door to door situation
At the moment, I don't know what's wrong with me. At the moment, I'm a couple of minutes, man. Condom off, especially. Anyway, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. We're supposed to be talking about Mark Tilbury. No, my living situation. So, pregnant missus, hormonal, right?
Jacob Hawley.
Something has happened to the hormones of the house because I'm horny and the cat's lost her fucking mind. Someone, because I put this on my Instagram account the other day, every fucking night, frogs, and they're not quite dead, so they're screaming. It's horrendous. The amount of rats.
She's bringing rats into the house.
All the time. All the time. Multiple times a week.
Mate, that's fucking grim.
Sometimes living, sometimes dead. One of them, like I think you and I were together the other day, and I've stopped telling you now. We're progressing in our relationship, you and I. I know just
that
not
is
to tell you
progress.
certain
That's growth,
things.
actually.
Yeah.
I need to send Alana a thank you card for the hand jobs.
Yeah. But like, yeah, so she sent me a video the other day. She was like, look, Mango's brought a rat in again. It's just scuttled under the toilet. And it was just still there for a while. And we just let the cat in there for a while until we saw a dead rat on the floor. And then we opened the door again.
I feel fucking ill.
She brought a bird in. She brought a bird, half dead.
They're called women, Jacob.
And may I say, it was lovely to see Guy's cowboy again. Watch out. Be lucky. No. She brought a half dead bird. And then kids are going mad. I'm horny. So the cat is just bringing fucking half dead animals in all the time, right? And then she's doing a podcast. I don't know. And then I've got new neighbours,
right?
And they're oh mate,
what are we dealing with?
Well, what we're dealing with, and it's hard, right? Because the thing is, so it's like our situation. It's terraced housing, small gardens, low fence, and it's like 2 up, 2 downs with extended kitchens. So the kitchens come out, and it's sort of like your garden is half kitchen, half, and they face each other, so you can just see into their kitchen.
Right.
So you're just sort of looking at each other all the time.
Right.
My kid's bedroom overlooks the garden. So, like, if they're just like having drinks and cigarettes at 2 a.m. on a Saturday, which they fucking love doing, they're 3 meters from my child's head.
Not ideal.
Right?
These are young people, are they? They're young.
They're young people, but what they are is they're long hairs.
Uh-oh.
They're like PhD student, nerdy, first time living away from home, long hairs.
Got a couple of Sid Barretts up there.
This is it. So they're not like ravers.
Couple of Nick Drakes up there.
This is the thing. And so it's like, and I like a long hair. You can have I've got a few mates who are long hairs. You can have a laugh with a long hair. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I like one of my
Well, when you can get through to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
When they've stopped smoking ganja for 2 seconds.
This is it. Stop sat there thinking about fucking heavy metal.
Yeah.
Fucking still crying about Aussie going a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I like my mate who's a long hair. I like getting him, if we're walking along the street and like a motorbike goes past, I go, oh,
right.
Motorbike.
They do like that.
Bet that goes fast, doesn't it? We're like if we see a guitar, if you just see a guitar somewhere, you go, mate, oh, look at that. Slayer.
Metallica.
Bet that goes loud.
Bet that goes loud. They turn that up to 11.
It's fucking. And what I'm doing.
That's like Fire and Ice. You're like the direct antithesis of
so this is what I'm doing with the long hairs, and I've only met one of them, and like nice kid. He is a kid. He's like a PhD student, and I sort of had a quick chat with him. And he's like, "Hi, I'm Ollie. My parents live in High Wycombe. I've never lived in London before. It's crazy, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sweet mate. Stop fucking going in the garden at 3 a.m. with music playing." But like, so I'm a bit of a long hair. I was upset when Ozzy died. I've been at Oasis this summer. I'm not the antithesis to a long hair, really, right?
You can be, though.
But this is it. I'm basically... Because I should just have a conversation with them where I go, look, lads, like, do what you fucking want. You're paying as much money as I am to live there, right? But also, my children are here, yeah? And also, we've both got loaded guns to each other's heads. In the same way that you could wake up my kids, and by the way, they don't. Like, my kids just don't wake up at fucking anything because they're London kids, right? But... I know that me and my missus are laying there both worrying about the kids being woken up by the noise. That's what yeah. If they were to wake my kids up at 2 a.m, at 6:30 in when my son wakes up and wants to play football, we can get in the garden and play Bluey music on a Bluetooth speaker, and we'll see how much they enjoy that. Right?
We can have a push and a pull, as Carl Frock would say.
Exactly. Right. And I could have a mature conversation with them where I go, look, guys, we're sharing communal space here, really.
Not as fun to do that, though, is it?
Well, it's mature to do that. And I could say, look, please just be conscious of the children. We're going to be as conscious as we can with you. If we ever bother you with our noise of our kids, please tell us and we'll stop.
And I
expect the same respect both ways. Great. I don't do that.
No.
What I do is behave like Danny Boy 83 as much as possible in the hopes that they will think we can't fuck with him. So I literally, I've had my top off, I mean, as I do anyway, but I've had my top off nearly every day. I just pot around the garden swearing, fucking hell. yeah. It's happening, peeps.
Yeah. They're in there going, fucking hell. I think that's Danny Boy 83.
Staggering around the garden. I just come off a ped, didn't I?
Come off a ped in Thailand.
I got a brass later on.
Yeah. I think that's good. Shit them up a bit.
But this is and that's but my point being is, like, I see the Mark Tilburys of the world, and I'm like, I don't want to live in Dubai. I don't need a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And this is how much, like, our generation are so cucked by the economics of the world.
Right.
That I'm half tempted to give him a follow and watch 12 minutes about how me buying avocados is the reason I don't own property.
Yeah.
Just because he might tell me at the end that if I stop eating the avocados, I can have a slightly bigger house, maybe even a semi-detached house.
Yeah.
Where
slightly larger garden.
Yeah, where I'm not cosplaying as a drug dealer from Kent in the hope of intimidating some PhD students to safeguard my children.
That's all we want.
That's all I want.
We can be bought so easily. We don't need to live in the Burj Khalifa.
No.
We just want a 2-bed somewhere in the southeast of England.
I never want to go.
No.
I just want a house where my children have enough bedrooms and I'm not pretending to be a thug to intimidate some PhD students.
Yeah.
I would like, do you know what the level of financial freedom I would like?
Go on.
I would like the financial freedom to be able to delete my Facebook account rather than my missus using my Facebook account because she doesn't have one to use Facebook Marketplace to buy all the things we need.
Yes.
And she does it in my Facebook account under my name, lowballing people for amusement. Every fucking time I go on my Facebook, she's been trying to buy, like, I don't know, like a portable potty for our son, which is 15 quid.
She's trying to buy gloves and buckets.
She's offering a £5 just to be a cunt, just to wind them up.
Right.
And I'm terrified that one day I'm going to get that guide in the toilets of the Emirates, and they're going to go, you that guy? And I'm going to go, yeah, what, from Screen Rot or the Kickoff? They're going to go, no, that cunt who tried to buy a potty off me and offered me a £5.
I was about to say she got too much time on her hands, but she's got something else on her hands, so... Yeah, that's it.
Well, I've done that twice this episode, haven't I?
It's good stuff. I think the other thing about Tilbury is the projection. The boomer generation basically project the inability of our generation to live economically functional lives. They project their guilt about creating a world where that is the case.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think they are guilty?
I think that's the only way that their generation can mentally deal with the fact that they had it so much easier than us. Like, there have been more recessions in the last kind of 15 years than there were for the entirety of their, like, early adult lives.
Yeah.
They were, if you were that way inclined, you had free university education. Even like working class people, like my granddad's generation, they all got given their council homes for a very nominal fee, and oftentimes in a places that would then become very valuable. There then was no social housing for people of my mum and dad's generation or our generation to move into and save for their own home.
I think that is a massive part of how working class people view conservatism, the divide between the North and the South.
Yeah.
Because I think in the North, Thatcherite conservatism is linked to the closing of the mines and the closing of like working places.
Purposefully decimating those communities.
To the point where it destroyed their earnings.
Yep.
Whereas for my parents, who are slightly older than your parents, my parents associate Thatcher with she let me buy my council house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so there's a feeling of goodwill there.
Yep.
And I think it's so interesting. Like I know loads of what you might call I don't know, upper working class, lower middle class people who certainly have roots in like working class culture.
Yeah.
Who have really favourable views towards Thatcher and conservatism.
Yep,
because
100%.
in the southeast of England, that was your ticket to property.
Yeah, you won the lottery.
And even though our generation or even your parents' generation aren't on that ladder, I think one thing that's like really underspoken about in like current economics is there are literally trillions of pounds just sat in the valuation of the properties that the Mark Tilburys and my parents indeed own that are just waiting to fall down.
Right.
I mean, what a podcast.
Yeah.
We've gone from me talking about how I get tossed off to this.
And I think
This is 6 minutes.
Yeah, people's necks are hurting because of the handbrake turn we've just done. But yeah, no, I think you're completely right. And like, but I do think it's so. If we watch this one where we were talking about coffee, and this is his kind of like the riff that he always does about buying coffee and putting it in the S&P or whatever. But this is a guilty man returning to the scene of the crime.
Wait, you bought your own coffee to Starbucks?
Of course, doing this has made me an extra $1.5 million.
No, it
What
hasn't.
are you talking about? A coffee's $5 max.
Over a year, that adds up to $1,825.
That's nowhere near.
Sure.
Could you see the maths on this? Over a year.
Well, he's about to explain why that is the case.
But what was his number? 1,000.
8,000 and something. Yeah, he's talking about investing it in the S&P over like 30 years. So
okay, he's done a coffee a day.
$1.5 million.
It is if you invest it in the S&P 500 and an average annual return of 10% over 45 years.
Okay, but you still got a cake pop.
Well, come on, you got to live a little.
We could probably write some gags for him, couldn't we? There's a business opportunity there. But like,
also, like, there's a really different way of delivering that video, which is just do both.
Yeah,
just have a coffee, and you could deliver that video by just going. By the way, did you know there's this S&P thing where if you just put £5 in a day over a 365-day year, you'll put 1,800 quid in there, and by the 45 years time, that'll be worth $1.5 million.
Yeah.
You could just say that rather than being this sarky cunt.
And like this thing of like, my grandparents' generation and my mum and dad's generation, they did have to save for a lot of stuff. I'm not saying they all had it really like completely easy. Do you know what I mean? They had to sacrifice things, but like it was the promise of those generations was you can have a house and you can go on holiday maybe once or twice a year, and you don't have to like choose between kind of pleasure or enjoyment and like the basic necessities of life.
Yeah.
And like I remember having this bit and it never really worked because it was too bleak, which was like my grandparents all moved out of effectively shared accommodation in London to go and live in Stevenage. And they gave us an economic and educational opportunity that they never had. And we all used that educational and economic opportunity to move back into the same areas of London they had scarpered from to rent the same shared accommodation that they had left in like Brixton and Stockwell and like North London where my grandparents are from. And it's like the unintended consequences of the right to buy. Do you know what I mean? They entered into a pact that they never could have understood the ultimate consequences of. And now, on top of all of that, this cunt's turning up in a plum-coloured shirt and being like, you can't have a coffee.
It's the sneeriness and it's the lack of acknowledgement of privilege. And I look at myself as a father now, as someone who might be a grandparent one day.
Please God, yeah.
And I think to myself, how will I behave?
Right.
Like, how will I? Because this is the reality of things, right? My parents' house,
Yes.
right? It's a 3-bedroom terraced house just outside of Stevenage.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth £500,000.
Right.
Right. And I don't get on with my sister.
Right.
And that's sad, but I haven't spoken to my sister in like a couple of years, but I have to acknowledge that one day my parents will pass.
Right.
That will fall to us. I've got extensive evidence of my sister's mental and well-being. I'll have her sections and I'll get all the property value.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
And then you'll act the cunt with your kids.
But the point is, I will inherit a huge amount of money one day.
Yeah.
Just from my parents being like normal people.
Right.
Right. And the valuation of their property, how it's grown over the years. And so I will be rich one day. Just because my parents were part of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how will I speak to my grandkids?
Will you acknowledge that? Yeah, that privilege.
I'll be worse than him. Oh, boo-hoo, boys. I wouldn't have that coffee if I were you. You know, I mean, the planet will be on fucking fire.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
The reason that you cannot buy property on the land that isn't flooded, the reason you have to be water people
Yeah.
in the flooded metropolis of Holloway, the reason that your children are going to have to grow gills if they want to survive in the flooded metropolis of Holloway, whilst I live in Stiltland, is because, unfortunately, you're doing too much coffee in the mornings.
Unfortunately, Sonny, you cannot access the ChatGPT algorithm to do the relevant work for yourself and for your family, and that is because you have an avocado on a Saturday.
You and your brothers are going to have to fight in the resources wars to get the food tokens to be able to eat, as there is no more crops because Africa and all the places where we used to buy our food has been burnt to a crisp. The reason that you won't have vegetables and you have to have powdered food is because, unfortunately, all of you used to quite enjoy avocado on toast.
You used to have an avocado on a toast. Instead, I invested in an AI company that was working with the IDF to provide
Me and Jake sold Screenbot to the AI gods. It now does adverts for the IDF every single week.
And that is why I live in Stiltland. It's
And
very dry in Stiltland.
I live in nice dry Stiltland where we have air conditioning. I have escaped to the beautiful metropolis of Qatar, where I live next door to Andy Gray. Andy Gray's head, his brain is just in one of those sort of tanks.
Yeah.
I would do that with him.
Yeah, just little tentacles coming out.
I think that is the lesson I take from Tilbury. I ignore all the financial shit, and I do think about what kind of older generation we are going to be. A privileged older generation one day, as his generation are, as generations before that probably were.
Yeah.
Can you do it with good grace? I listen to him sometimes, and it feels like dad advice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like it's the most dry kind of fucking, are you being smart with your money? And I think, I have to say, it's one thing that my dad, and I've spoken affectionately of my father in recent pods, and I like, did your dad give you much advice when you were growing up? Did he ever give you financial advice? Did he, I mean, our parenting was different because, as I say, my dad was 35 when he had me.
My dad was 22.
Yeah.
I think my dad's the postman. He's been doing that job since like 16, I think. And I think at some point, like when I left school and I was going down a slightly different educational path, it was like there was limited.
Sorry to interrupt. Has your dad been doing that for 30 years?
Yeah, longer than that. Yeah.
Is there ever a thing of like an acknowledgement of service to the postal service, I guess?
Well, so
you'd be fucked off if they gave you a letter, wouldn't you? So, oh, you fucking bastards! I've seen enough of them.
Actually, it is all done on seniority if you stay at the office. So, like, that's what it's called. It's like you get first dibs on what walk you want to do. They call it those kind of things. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. But then he moved to Portsmouth.
Well, and lost all of his.
And lost it.
No way.
Yeah. And so that was.
So even though he's done it for like 35, 40 years, they.
Yeah. But from what I hear, which is quite nice, it does feel a bit Sopranos-ish. Like the posties, like they're like, he's a 35-year, and they show you
there's
due
like respect.
deference. Yeah.
There's like
they're all
respect.
really nice to him, apparently.
There's like young Chrissies. They want to become made men.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, I think it's an amazing job
Your dad,
for
like pinning him up against the wall, being like, "You fucking asshole, show me some fucking respect."
in this house. Daniel Farker is a fucking hero. End the story. It's what I think is amazing about it as a job for men of his generation and maybe men of like. Is with young families, which he's always had, is because you start so early and you finish so early.
Oh man, yeah,
he like
the dream.
Every football match, every school play, every netball match, pick us up from school every day.
Brilliant.
And I think they're like, obviously it's a really hard job waking up early and stuff, but I think that worked really, really well for them. And what he was really good at, actually, my dad is very wise on like life lessons, but we never really spoke about career or stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So what sort of life lessons did he tell you?
He would always talk about like if you went on a school trip, he would always say like make sure you kind of enjoy it because you're a long time home. That's what he used to say, and it'd be like a kind of like. I think what he was trying to get at was kind of like be in the moment, if you know what I mean. Like, don't let little things get you down. It did also sound a bit like pressure to have a good time sometimes.
Well, I do. It is quite interesting. I think I probably live in the moment slightly more than you do. I don't get preoccupied by sort of thoughts of what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Where my dad didn't really. I don't really remember much advice like that from my dad. The one, and this is like, you know, advice that all parents give at some point. I remember the birds and the bees conversation.
Yeah, I don't really remember that. I think I might have like blanked that out of my memory.
I remember mine. I remember because I had like a girlfriend, and I think we'd stayed. They knew that I'd been to like a house party that she'd been at, and I'd stayed there overnight. And oh my God, I can't believe how much talk of sex there is in Mark Tilbury episode.
Yeah, he's got the animal magnetism.
I think I mentioned this on this podcast before. It was like I didn't quite lose my virginity at this party, but I nearly did. And it was literally me, my mate Nigel, and a guy called Dean, and we all sort of had our girlfriends there. We were all like 15, 16 at the time. Dean's parents had gone away. It wasn't really a house party. But I again, and I've mentioned this on Politics Joe recently, that I was very porn-brained at the time. And we were all sort of like, you know, like as you do at that age, just sort of like kissing and dry humping.
Nice.
And I started just doing like pornographic moaning. I was like, and I think it was Dean. It was like all, you know, 3 couples in the same room.
Wow.
All sort of kissing and sort of getting into stuff. Yeah. And I was doing that so much just because I'd learnt it from pornography that my mate Dean was like, "Sorry, is that Jacob?" I was like, yeah. And they were like, "Why are you doing that?" The girl's supposed to. "Oh, sorry." And I carry on. But I oh God, it was horrendous. Funny. And oh man, yeah.
So you got the birds and the bees talk after that.
So I came back from that, and they'd obviously, him and my mum had obviously had a conversation, been like, "Okay, fucking hell, he's gone to a party, stayed there with this girl. We need to."
Dean's rang us up. He said he's moaning like a fucking cow.
Yeah. We need to be. What the fuck is he watching?
We need to find an Irish woman to tug him off.
Yeah. Well.
He needs to be relieved.
Watch some like more like reserved British pornography where the man is silent and stoic.
Sit down.
Yeah. But I do remember my dad sitting me down, and he'd clearly been sent in by my mum, right? In their kind of dynamic is my mum is very quite loud and squawky and crazy, whereas my dad is the sort of quiet, more stoic kind of
right.
And
when he says something, it means something.
I just remember I had a fucking mad bedroom. I had a sofa in my bedroom.
Wow.
It was my grandparents. One of them passed, so I wanted the sofa because it smelt so much like their house.
Wow.
And I was like, when I was like 15, 16, I got the sofa. So I just had this fucking like 50-year-old sofa in this tiny bedroom, like just wedged. And I just remember my dad coming and sitting on this sofa with me, and he'd clearly been sent in by my mum.
Get in there.
Have you met them?
Yeah.
That is literally Brian, constantly, right? And she'd sent him in, and I literally remember he sat on the sofa with me, and we were both like so stressed by having to do this conversation that we're both like head in our hands.
Son,
like this.
I've heard you're a moaner.
Well,
Can I just say, men are class.
Put the hat on. Wow, you got it early.
Wow,
you must have got VIP.
Jake's been good with
he sat me down, and he was like, "Obviously, you and Vicky have been together a while," and I was like, "Yep," and he was like, "Obviously, you're getting a bit older," and
nice.
Yep, and he literally just said to me, he goes, have you got condoms? I went, yep. And he went, all right, and got up.
My work here's done.
That was it.
Yeah.
He didn't even say, don't get her pregnant.
Yeah,
he didn't even say, like, be careful. Do you know what I mean?
No,
be somewhere safe, blah, blah, blah. He didn't say anything like that. He just
End
went,
the conversation.
have you got condoms? I went, yep. And he went, all right. And just got up.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
My work is done, William.
Don't worry, William. He's fine. I think like dads are class in that respect. One thing I love actually about my father-in-law that Emma told me is that she'll chat to him on the way home from work on the phone. And every time,
I love that. I think girls have such different relationships with their dads than we do.
Yeah. And every time she ends the conversation, she goes, all right, love you, Dad. And he goes, cheers. How good is that?
My dad is literally my dad had a cancer scare 2 years ago. I think
What
you're aware.
a podcast.
Got a little tear in
Thatcherite
my eye.
economics.
My dad had a cancer scare 2 years ago. Fine now, and I have to shout out one of our listeners, Coileen, who is a speech therapist in the
I
NHS.
remember this. This is really nice.
And he heard me mention it once, and he spoke to me about it. And he because my dad had to have some of his vocal cords removed because of the tumour. But as a result of that, I think the sort of scare gave him this, and I don't think I've ever been like desperate for my dad to be more loving towards me. I think I've always loved him for who he is.
Right.
But I think he knows that he's a quiet guy, he's a stoic guy, and he hasn't been outwardly affectionate all the time. And he has been enough. Do you know what I mean? I remember like, I applied for Royal Holloway University and they fucking said no to me fast. I remember he found me crying in my room once. He just came and put an arm around me and like looked after me. But after his cancer scare a couple of years ago, he got pissed and told me how much he loved me once. It was so messy. It was I just love you so much, and I don't know if I've told you enough, and I really I'm so proud of you, and I can't believe what you've done with your life, and I just love you so much. As a father, you're great. I said all this, and I was like, just in the moment, I didn't know how to come back.
No.
I was like, fucking hell, all right, like. Wow. I remember I got home the next day with Alana and I was like, God, that was Dad, really? She was like, yeah, it was lovely. She was like, you should text him, like, and say, like, everything, thank you, and that you love him back and everything. So I did. I spent I never agonise over text, but I spent ages being like, thank you for what you said last night. Love you so much. So, and he, cancer free is all good, blah, blah. And I sent him this long message being like, I love you too. And I maybe I've been more affectionate than you have over the years, but I genuinely appreciate everything you said so much last night. Guess what I got back?
What?
Thumbs up emoji.
That's so good.
Men are class.
Men are class. Dad, I really appreciate you coming out as gay to me last night.
I will be here for you.
I think our dad's generation, or like, probably similar as well. It's like, we talked about it before, it's like the kind of, a little education is a dangerous thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they kind of know enough about mental health and expressing themselves that they know that they should be doing it, but they can't really.
They don't want to.
They don't want to. At least Billy Elliot's dad just could fucking call him the P word in his room and do not worry about it. You know what I mean? It's like now, like he's down the pits. He's down the pits and he's stoic and he just shuts up and then he cries at the end. Like our dads have got to be like stoic and kind of daddy and down the pub, but then also be like, I love you so much, son.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what are they doing?
They're not. I know. Even with like my in-laws who are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Me and my
got a great relationship now.
No, my missus' dad is just nuts. Like he's no one else has got a father-in-law like mine. He lives on a boat. I think he's in the Azores at the moment. He's all over the shop.
My favourite story ever was when he needed a part for that boat and he was going to make your fiance,
who was pregnant at
the time, drive to Birmingham to pick up this part for the boat. And when we say part for the boat, it wasn't like a screwdriver size thing.
It was a turbine.
It was a turbine.
Drive back to London.
And
somehow post it to him.
Then ship it
to the Canaries.
She would have needed a pallet. She would have needed to be like something out of Interstellar.
But he would never have done that to like if you said that to him, he'd have been like, oh my God, don't let Alana do that. He'd have just it would have been through a kind, and she would have offered, and there would have been a he's also bad with his phone. But one thing, my mother-in-law, and I've got a good relationship, she's a wind-up. Fucking top class wind-up.
Classic wind-up, yeah.
And one thing she does in terms of like the wealth thing, again, it's property related.
Right.
And it's very like, and she's German. So she's like, in Ireland, we have so much land. You don't have any land. And last time I was in fucking Ireland, we were driving along and she just fucking, she gets me because she knows that my whole thing is I need to buy a house for my family. I need to buy a house for my family.
Right.
But she knows I'm going to do it in like a very congested part of London.
Right,
we have
right,
a small
right.
garden, blah, blah, blah. And literally every house in Ireland that we passed, she fucking nudged me and go, look at the frontage. They have so much frontage.
Frontage.
You won't have any frontage. Frontage. Imagine cucking someone with frontage.
That's fucking quality.
This is the generational dynamic, the economic disparity that allows someone as boring
as
Mark Tilbury to become a viral superstar. The desperation of our generation to have frontage.
Amazing system on their part, the boomers, where they've hoarded all of the wealth for themselves. So the only time we get a bit of wealth is when one of them dies. So there's this kind of like, on one hand, my mum's dead, but on the other hand, I'm 10% closer to a deposit.
This is it, and we are so financially cucked as a This is like if you replace like the resource that they have, that Tilbury has, is money. Replace it with food, and like think about it like that. Think about it like that. The fattest man. This is Big John telling you how to eat. I love you, John.
Yeah.
But this is Big John going, I bet loads of you guys are hungry, aren't you? Right? And you'll go, yeah, quite hungry actually. Our whole generation are hungry. You guys kind of got a lot of the food. Thatcher sold you guys quite a lot of food in the 80s and 90s, and now
actually.
I'm starving. My kids are fucking starving. And Big John goes, right, is that a order of Chinese? That is the equivalent.
If you put a prawn cracker in a warehouse now, in 45 years, that'll be a warehouse full of prawn crackers.
And I think what we've tried to get to with this episode is you don't like. You shouldn't want to subscribe to Mark Tilbury.
No.
He is boring,
No.
and his only value is he's rich.
Yeah.
And actually, like, you don't want to subscribe to a Mark Tilbury. He has nothing to teach you. I'm sorry, Mark. What our generation needs
Is for you
to die.
to die.
The best thing that could affect the finances of our generation and all of Mark's subscribers is if they live broadcast his funeral.
If you want to help us, Mark, if you want to help us, put a fucking bullet in your fucking head. I don't know if that's all right. Is that all right? I didn't mean that.
Do the right thing. If every boomer, if every finance smug boomer just said, next week on my YouTube, I'm going to die, and I'm going to televise the funeral, and I'm going to literally televise the moment that my wealth passes down to the generation below and is taxed properly with inheritance tax, and that is going to fund a fucking 2 million houses being built in the United Kingdom, and all of you are going to be able to buy one with like less than 30% of your income. That is the best thing that Tilbury could do.
The trickle-down economics I want to see is the trickling of piss down Mark Tilbury's legs as we put him in front of a fucking firing squad.
Ladies and gentlemen, I nearly cried about my dad's cancer diagnosis. I got tossed off.
Just joking.
It's been a weird one.
It's been a good one.
This is 101 of the next century. This is what we're promising. This is what we're going to deliver. We're going to kill Mark Tilbury. See you next week.